Hello, everyone, and welcome to this installment of the Clear Process Solutions WebTips. My name is Tim Dempsey. I'll be your presenter today, and our topic of discussion is going to be how to use the copy table rule within Precisely Automation. If you're new here, go ahead and check out our web tips on YouTube. This is where we provide tips and tricks that we discover from our everyday development. So to get started, let's dig into the details. So what exactly is it? Well, this is a wizard rule found within Precisely that we can use to copy data from one table to the other. We use this very often, especially with change requests, and this provides us an easy mechanism to do that. So why is it valuable? Well, the key here is that it's a wizard rule, so it's built in and it's an automated function. So no longer do we need to use custom code. We can simply just create an out-of-the-box rule, saving us time in development. So where can we find it? Well, it's within the solution, which we'll see here in a few minutes, and we can add the rule within the view, on a field, or on a button. So you might be wondering, when would we use this rule or function, or why is it important? Well, we use this very often within different change requests. So anytime we want to copy data from another, so for example, if we have an existing data set that we want to modify, rather than using custom code in order to send data from one table to the other, we can simply just use this rule and it does all of that for us. So how does it work? Well, I've created a demo today to show you more about how it's set up, an introduction to the rule, where to find it, and we'll get to that here in a few minutes. So before we get into the demo, I just want to set the table. I'll be showing you how the rule is created, where the rule is, and we'll be able to see that within an example solution based on a real-world application we just recently developed. Now I'm going to flip over here to my web browser, and we're set up here in Evolve. Okay, so I've created this solution for us today. It's just called Demo Copy Table, and I'm going to come over here to my Form tab, and we can see we have two different tables. So we have one table for existing data, which we'll see here is going to be populated within this query. And then we have another table here for change. So a few minutes ago, we discussed, hey, when would I actually use this, or what application could we use it for? It could be used for any number of different applications, probably ones you're using today. And one way we were able to work with the data is by displaying the existing data as well as a working table so that we can make our updates and edits and then either push this back into our ERP system or send it off to review or for approval, any part of our business process management. So as you can see here, this is just a very shorthand, if you will, just a demo of a purchase order. It has just a few fields like the line item number, a unit of measurement, quantity, price, and so forth. And what we'll see here is this data from this table simply just being copied over to this table. Now, for the demonstration purposes, I've put this into a button. You may find that it's more when working within your application, it may make sense to do that on the form view as well. So you can always add it here on your view rule. You can also add it onto a field as well in the rules section here. So I'm going to go ahead here and open up this button, and we see we have one rule. We have an action rule here. I'm going to go ahead and open it up. And we have the copy table rule. Now this is already set up, so rather than walking through the setup, we're just going to create a brand new one. Okay, so I'm going to go over here and copy existing data to change PO data. I'm going to go ahead and select the add button and then find the copy table data here. And we have our properties of that rule. So I'm going to go ahead and find my primary source of data. This is where I'm getting the data from, which is our existing data. Here I can select any additional source fields. So this can be maybe some static string fields, text boxes, or other number fields that are not within the table. We can add a condition here if for the table to be whether to add that row within the table. And we have our target. So let's go ahead and select our target table, which is the purchase order change. And our mapping. So we'll go ahead and click here on the function button. And very straightforward. We have our source fields and our target fields. I'm going to go ahead and select source fields, and we can see just the fields from existing that are available. So I'm going to go ahead and just start from the very top and just go each one by one. See if I can get through this. Okay. So now that we've mapped our fields from our source to target, we can go ahead and click OK. And the last option we have is if we want to overwrite the existing rules or rows or append to the rows. In this case, we'll just keep it as overwrite rows. And that is how we set up the rule. Now, another option I also wanted to make you guys aware of is that we can enable the Excel options as well. So this may be helpful for your business process where if we want to copy data from one table to another and then export it out to Excel, we can also import it from Excel without having to do that manual entry, saving lots of time. I just want to show you this query as well, so we see where this data is coming from. I've created a reference data list for us that is just going with some data for the demo. It's just going to be setting the existing table and we'll run this on start. And these are the components for our demo. I'm going to go ahead and click deploy and launch our form. Okay, so as you can see, we have our data loaded from the reference data list. I have 3 line items for this purchase order. I can see our quantities, our price, everything here related to just this abbreviated purchase order. And we can see down below that these are editable rather than the read-only ones above, because this is the ones we really want to make the updates to. So I'll just go ahead and click this button and we can see that all of our table data above is now set here below. I can go ahead and make sure I want to modify this first row and update the plant. And maybe I'll modify the third row to Tom Dempsey. course, I can always export this out as well. So just in a few steps, as I go back over here, we can see that one rule can really save us a lot of time and a lot of custom code just by sending the data from one table to the other and having a working set of data that we can use for changes. So today we explored the copy table rule within Precisely Automation. We discussed some of the why it's important, where we might use it, and we saw a real world demo that we were able to step through on how to get that set up. If you have any other further questions, please contact our team. Subscribe to our web tips on YouTube, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks again.